Hi friends, today we are going to talk about the Wheatear stitch. It's a fairly simple stitch to do, but you have to concentrate to be able to do it because it is not intuitive. The chain stitch and the fly stitch are similar, and sometimes I have to repeat the steps over and over again in my head to get it straight. This is the Wheatear stitch right here. It looks like a chain stitch with little antlers, or it looks like a head of wheat with the little wispies on the side. So this is an example of one, not the green stitches, just the pink stitches is an example of one. Now, the Wheatear is also fun because you can put things in these little circles, like right here on this bright pink one. You can see that in the little circles there, I put little green beads. In this sparkly green one right here, I actually did a tiny little bullion knot over top each time. And in this one right here, it's just one little Wheatear stitch. There's not a bunch here, just that one. You can see the little kind of antenna on it right here, and there's the loop right there, and I just put a detached chain stitch in there to form a bud. Okay, let's go through the steps to do a detached chain stitch. We are going to be working with, it's not a wrapped stitch, so we can go ahead and work with a chenille needle. And when I'm doing the detached or the Wheatear stitch, I do it as I work towards me. And the first part is the V. And this is where it gets complicated to me because whenever I do a V, I always want to do it as if we were doing a fly stitch. I want to come in right over here and come out right here. And if you do it that way, it will be wrong. So you need the V as if we were going to do, let's draw it so that we can see it first. You need the V, and then we're going to do a loop. And this is the part where I have to say the steps over and over again so that I don't accidentally try to do a fly stitch there. So go ahead and make one leg of your V, come out up here and make the other leg of your V. That's the only complicated part, is remembering that's not a fly stitch. And now what we're going to have, we're going to come out, go in the base of our V. We're going to come out about 1/4 of an inch down. And now this is just like a detached chain stitch, but instead of making a loop, we're going to hook underneath those two little antennae. And then we're going to go back down in the bottom. Now, if we were just doing one Wheatear stitch, that would be it. But we're going to do them in a row. So the next thing is to come out and make another V, and this V will be side by side with this chain stitch. Remember, this is the part you have to think about. You're not going to do a fly because that'll end up with the thread in the wrong place. You're going to go down at the base here and come out on the other side. We have to make the V first, and we're not making it like a fly stitch. And go down at the base again, and now come out 1/4 of an inch down. Now when we go to to loop this one, we don't go through this loop. We only go through these outside 2 stitches. You'll notice I'm using the back end of my needle so I don't split stitches. So we just go through both of those little arms and go back down in where we came out, off to the left to make a V, back to the base, off to the right to make a V, back to the base, down for the loop, weave it through, and go back to the base, off to the left to make a loop, back to the base, off to the right to make a loop, back to the base, down for our loop. Now this time we're going to weave it through, but I wanted to just show some variations. You can make these loops here long, you can make them really short, and the same thing with the arms of this one. You could make arms that were longer, up to the left for an arm, up to the right for an arm, and back down for your next loop. So you can see that I have used them to be, whoops, I went through a thread there. I've used them to be pine cone or pine boughs. They are great for that because you can change the length of these arms so that you can make it look more like a leaf. Okay, let's hook through here again, but not get an extra thread. There we go. And that, my friends, is the Wheatear stitch.